So for me, there's no party that have today's ideology in Nigeria.
So you don't believe in ideology?
No. I said there's none. Otherwise, the ideology of APC will be if you're corrupt and you move to APC, you're no longer corrupt.
One interview, two completely different verdicts. The presidency called it a PR disaster. A prominent voice from the Obi-owned camp called it something almost more damning, boring. So, which is it? Did Peter Obi just hand his opponent a gift? Or did nothing actually change at all? Stick with me, because the answer says less about Peter Obi than it does about how Nigerian political reputations are actually built and broken. On Sunday, Peter Obi sat down for an extended interview on Channels Television's Sunday Politics with anchor Seun Okinbaloye. Over the conversation, Obi made several notable claims. He said President Tinubu should step aside, describing the country's direction under his administration as heading towards, in Obi's words, further hardship. He again pushed back on the outcome of 2023 election, and when pressed on allegation that he discriminated against Northerners and Muslims as governor of Anambra State, he pointed to specific claims about his administration. Commissioners from the North had sponsorships and humanitarian visits to Borno and Benue State. Those are Obi's claims, made on camera. Whether each one holds up isn't something this analysis can settle in few minutes. And that distinction matters because it is exactly where the story's second half begins. Here is the institutional context most coverage skips. In the run-up to 2027, every opposition media appearance is being read by two audiences at once. The general public and the political class actively manage the narrative for the next election cycle. That second audience reacts fast, publicly, and with incentive. It doesn't mean the reaction is fake. It means the volume of a reaction and the size of the shifts in public opinion are two different things. And this analysis is going to keep separating them. The presidency's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, posted a lengthy public response describing the interview as public relations failure and disputing Obi's account of the 2023 election result. Separately, a vice chairman of the ruling party argued Nigeria needs policy continuity rather than a change in direction. Both are political actors with an obvious stake in shaping how this interview is remembered, and that doesn't make their criticism wrong, but it does mean it should be weighed as advocacy, not neutral fact-checking. Here's the part that complicates the simple story. The sharpest criticism didn't only come from the ruling party. A well-known pro-opposition activist publicly said she felt irritated watching the same interview, not because Obi said anything scandalous, but because she felt it repeated ground already covered, offering no new answers to old questions. That is a different kind of backlash entirely. It is not partisan attack, it is fatigue. And fatigue is a much harder problem for any politician to face than a rival's press release. So, back to the real question. Is there evidence public's perception of Peter Obi actually changed? As of this recording, no independent polling has been published measuring reactions to this specific interview. What we can observe is reaction volume, statements from political rivals, commentary from allies, and a wave of social media posts. Reaction volume is real. It shapes headlines. It shapes how commentators frame the next news cycle, and it can bleed into perception over time. But it is not the same evidence as a measured shift in how the broader Nigerian electorate views a candidate. Treating loud reactions as a proof of a perception shift is analysis dressed up as fact, and that is a habit worth being skeptical of, no matter which politician it is protecting or attacking. So, did Peter Obi's interview on Channels Television damage his chances for 2027? Based on the evidence currently available, that conclusion will be difficult to prove. The interview certainly generated criticism. It also generated strong support. What remains unclear is whether it is significantly shifted the opinions of undecided voters, the group that often matters most in national elections. Perhaps the biggest lesson isn't about one interview at all. It is about the growing influence of social media in shaping political narratives, where a few viral clips can quickly become the story, even before the full conversation have been heard. As Nigeria moves closer to another election cycle, interviews like this won't simply test politicians. They will also test the public's willingness to look beyond headlines, separate performance from perception, and judge leaders on the totality of their ideas, not just the most viral moment. Because in politics, the loudest reaction isn't always the most lasting one. So, here is the question I will leave you with. When a political interview goes viral for criticism, is that a sign the public mind changed? Or just a sign the political class is paying very close attention while the rest of the country moves on? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you want the institutional story behind Nigerians' opposition media strategy ahead of 2027, that is coming soon on the Pivot Report. Till then, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.